At Spiro, our goal is to help you know everything about your customers. That way you can build stronger relationships and ultimately receive more orders. I'm Adam Honig, the CEO and founder of Spiro, and I want to tell you a little bit about why I started the business to help give some context for how Spiro can potentially help your business. Now, prior to Spiro, I founded and ran what would ultimately become one of the largest Salesforce consulting partners worldwide. Over the years, we worked with thousands of companies from Abbott Labs to Charles Schwab, MetLife, and Bose, helping them with CRM and Salesforce. And you know what? The experience was really difficult. Companies would spend thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on CRM. They really hate the results. It was very disheartening. And why did they hate it so much? Because the existing platforms that we were working with required their teams to do a lot of work. And ultimately, they received very little back. Once I was at a training of a customer and we were kind of going through how to use CRM, and I asked everybody how much they liked it. And some guy actually crumpled up a piece of paper and threw it at me. That was the kind of reaction that we used to get from getting people to, try to go on these old CRM platforms. Now, ultimately, I wound up selling the business. It all became part of Accenture. And after that, I started Spiro, and I was obsessed with the idea of using AI to help solve these problems. As a matter of fact, a movie called Her came out at that time. I don't know if anybody is familiar with it. Joaquin Phoenix was a man in the not too distant future who downloads an AI on his phone. The AI was played by the voice of Scarlett Johansson. That maybe that's how you know the movie. She doesn't appear in the movie herself, just her voice. But what she does is she sees everything on Joaquin Phoenix's phone. She can read his email. She sees what's going on. She gives him advice and helps him go throughout the day and improves his life. And the movie gets kind of weird, and he falls in love with her and stuff like that. But the point is, like, I'm watching this movie, and I became obsessed with the idea that AI could really help, you know, overcome all of these problems with CRM, and that's why we started Spiro. Now, it's also really interesting to know that Spiro is really focused exclusively on manufacturers and distributors. And, as a matter of fact, I host a podcast called Make It, Move It, Sell It, which is all about companies in the supply chain, the things that they make, the challenges that they have. We're focused on companies that make physical goods because those companies are different and they have different needs than other people out there in the world. Um, our point of view is that the existing CRM solutions just really don't do a good job for manufacturers and distributors. And the reason why we know that is so few of them have actually adopted a CRM. So, what you're looking at here on the slide is an image from the website of one of our customers, Eastern Industrial Supply from Greenville, South Carolina. Now, what's great about this image is it's showing that they're selling a pressure gauge actually made by one of our manufacturing customers, Winters Instruments. And what we've learned is that companies sell, make, and distribute physical products that have very different needs from insurance companies or high tech companies, et cetera. Distributors, you're carrying tens of thousands of products. Maybe you have thousands of customers, and often, our customers, in addition to have those sorts of characteristics, their teams, well, they're not quite as tech savvy as a, high tech company. So you really need a solution where the AI is really going to help the team a lot. Now, if we take a minute and we look at the business problem that we're trying to help companies with, what we hear over and over again from our customers is that manufacturing distributors have challenges really understanding what's going on with their customers. What have they been ordering? Who's been talking to who? What's really happening at these companies? And the reason why it's so hard is because so much of that information is actually tied up in people's heads. All of the relationship information is tied up there. Who knows who, what people like, what they don't like, when's the best time to call them, what their needs are. So all of that's in everybody's heads. Maybe if you're lucky, some of it's in a, Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. In addition to it being in people's heads, other information is hidden away in Epicor Eclipse, which is, a great ERP, but not necessarily the kind of thing that the sales team is great at getting data out of. And, kind of part of that is then, our customers, before using Spiro, what we see is that they spend a lot of times in meetings trying to figure things out. Trying to figure out who knows who. Maybe inside sales spoke with somebody, maybe outside sales is visiting them. How do we coordinate that? We have to call Bob in the accounting department to get information on an invoice or an order status, and it's pretty complicated. And sort of as a result of that, either it takes a lot of time for the team to pull together information about customers, or frankly, they don't do that. And they kind of go on their gut and their feeling, and they do it the best they can with limited insight. And so what that means is that, the team is being unproductive and potentially wasting time that they could be spending with customers. Or, even worse, they're probably not really addressing your customers' needs. And what happens here is this puts customers, relationships, and orders at risk. However, I am here to say, actually, the problem is worse than what we've been mentioning so far. And the reason why it's worse is because hidden away, in all of this data that you don't have, are things that you should know that are putting companies at risk. Okay. And so some of your customers, maybe they're disengaged from you. Maybe you don't have as great a relationship as you would like to have. Maybe some of your customers have actually stopped ordering from you and you don't even know. We have a customer that's in the electrical conduit business. They have tens of thousands of customers. They sell electrical conduit to it. They were trying to do an analysis every month of every one of their customers to see who had stopped ordering. And it was taking them so long to do that analysis, it was basically useless information. So back to what I was saying before, according to our benchmark survey, 4 out of 5 of the distributors that we surveyed say that they lost business unexpectedly in 2023 because they didn't have insight into this kind of information. So the question is, how can you solve this problem? Now, what we've learned is that if you can have a single place for all of your customer information, some of our customers call it a single pane of glass for all of your customer information, so that you can see all of the activity that's happening with them. You can see all of their orders and quotes and invoices, everything right there in one spot. You can really work on the relationship and save the time and effort that everybody's putting into this. Now, of course, CRM comes to play into that, but the requirement is that you have to get that information without turning your team into data entry clerks. Nobody likes that, and you're going to have an uprising on your hand. You're going to have people throwing crumpled up pieces of paper at you if that's what you're going to be doing with the team. And then because you're automatically capturing all of this data, you can then use AI to spot anomalies. Imagine if you had something that could look through the matrix of all of the data and you could see customers that seemed unhappy. If you could see customers that their order pattern was trending in the wrong direction. You could see customers that nobody had visited recently, but they're tier A, super important customers. And then it was able to push that information to the team so that they could take action, they could make more money, the company could get more orders, and everything can be going in the right direction for you here. And frankly, that is exactly what Spiro does. We are an AI-powered CRM that automatically connects with all of your business information. And what do I mean by that? So Spiro is designed to automatically sync all of your Office 365, Exchange, or Gmail emails about business contacts with Spiro. It'll bring in phone calls that are being made through RingCentral, your phone system, the built-in voice over IP that we provide. All of that information automatically brought within Spiro. Teams or Zoom calls, same thing. And then we integrate with, 26 different ERP solutions, ranging from Epicor to Infor and Sage. We even have customers who are on SAP. I feel really bad for them. So we pull all of that information together so that it's all there. It's that one pane of glass that you can see. Now, what's also really interesting about Spiro is we don't just use the AI to gather all of that information. We use the AI to summarize it. Because let's just say that, we're talking about one particular company and there's 20 different emails with them during a week, 3 phone calls and a Zoom meeting. Like the last thing that you want to have to do is then read through all of that information to figure out what's going on with the customer, which is exactly what the point that we're trying to get to here is. And so what you can see here is something that we call in Spiro the executive summary. This is where the AI takes all that information and packages it up for you so you can see it right here. I was meeting with the CEO of one of our customers a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that this is the most powerful thing that he sees in the platform. He says, "Yeah, I mean, I speak to my guys, I can understand what's going on with our customers, but when the AI writes it, I know that it's exactly correct and not, just happy talk on their part." So that's part of what Spiro is doing. Another thing that Spiro is doing is exactly this idea of looking through all of the data and making recommendations to the team. So a big part of Spiro is something that we call the assistant. And this can be set up to remind the team about things that you are interested in seeing. And we're going to show some of this to you in a demo, hopefully coming up soon. But the assistant can be set up to, for example, look to see if there's a low order amount in any of your customers. It could be a tier A customer. You could set it up in different ways. And you probably also want to set it up to make sure that it's only, reminding your sales team about the low order if they're not in contact with the customer already. And in this particular case, Spiro is saying, hey, we have this company called Frederick's Company. They haven't placed an order with us in the past 90 days, but it's even worse than that because nobody's spoken with them in the past, 90 days. And so it's a double negative. Now, a lot of our customers use this feature to make sure that their sales teams are following up on quotes appropriately. Or, maybe they've tiered their customers into 3 different levels, A, B, and C, and they want to make sure that an A level customer gets a visit every quarter or every month or whatever their business situation need is. And so the Spiro Assistant can push these kind of real-time alerts to people right within the platform and help them take action right away. And then because, we're capturing all of this data and we're automatically understanding everything that's going on with your customers, we provide with Spiro a full analytics platform that can create all of the different kind of visualizations and charts and dashboards that you need to make sure that you can, really run your business with data so that you can see who your top customers are. You can easily see margin by rep. You can see, actually, one of the coolest things about the platform is you can see things that are missing. So which of my customers haven't ordered recently and I haven't had any communication with. So it's a full blown analytics platform that can really provide a lot of, you know, information for your company. So to sum it up here, with Spiro, you and your team can get full visibility into your customers so that you can know everything that's going on with them, all of the conversations, all of the interactions. Use AI to summarize that so you can pinpoint exactly what's happening without having a lot of meetings and discussions. And the result of that is that the team will have more time to work with the customers to build better relationships. And as we know, having better relationships and more time with customers is going to translate into more orders over time. So that's where we can really add a lot of value.